David, thanks so much for coming and making the time. We've had such an amazing opportunity to spend close to a month together. We actually met in Cape Town before this chapter, and you shook my hand, pulled me aside, and you were like, "Bro, we've got to." Anyway, this is our opportunity to connect now. I'm going to start us off with just the basics.
Cool.
What's your name? Who are you? What do you do if you like to identify yourself by your career? And if not, what do I need to know about you, or what do you want me to know about you?
Yeah, my name is David Aaron. I'm from Philadelphia, born and raised. I actually don't love to identify by what I do. I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do, but I think the way I would identify myself is someone who's passionate about meeting others and meeting the world and spreading love in any way that I can. Spreading my gifts to help other people see theirs and shine their light. So I think that's kind of the essence of who I like to think I am.
But you're also an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I also am an entrepreneur, but you did ask the caveat of how you like to identify yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I identify myself first on a human form.
Yeah.
And everything else that I do is a branch off of that foundation.
Yeah. I just had to give you that option because I know you so well now. We've spent such a long time together. I knew you were going to take it there.
For sure.
Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
First question, just really light. For you, what even is Wi-Fi Tribe?
A special, special place. A Wi-Fi Tribe is a special place that has changed my life, for sure. Has changed my life. And yeah, I found it in January of 2025 last year in Buenos Aires. And I actually had been accepted about 2 years before then, but I had 2 years of not doing a chapter and, went through some life changes and work changes and didn't get a chance to do it. And when I went to Buenos Aires, Argentina last January, I just opened my box or my comfort zone to I'm gonna dive into this thing, Wi-Fi Tribe. I'm gonna be myself, and whatever comes of it, comes of it. And now, 14 months later, sitting here in Namibia, after my second full chapter, and as well as being at that Wi-Fi Tribe Fest, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for finding. We can curse or no?
You can,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna just speak myself then. I'm just so grateful for what Wi-Fi Tribe has provided the space for me to step into. I think it does a beautiful job of just that. It's not going to pull you in any direction that you don't want to go, but it will give you the space and the empowerment to step into light that you may not have seen without the platform of Wi-Fi Tribe.
I love that you've described it as a platform. I've never thought of it in that way, but that's a really beautiful way of articulating how it functions for members. So yeah, man, like beautiful reflections. And if you were to like tell your friends or family about a chapter, how would you describe it to them?
I would describe it, I actually have described it as you go to freshman year of university and all of a sudden you're exposed to all these people from different cultures, different backgrounds, different career paths, different interests, different passions. And you get through freshman year of university and you never really get that again. That is like the bubbles bursted and you go through the rest of college, you meet new people, and then you get into the workforce, and you can never recapture that feeling that was freshman year of university.
Yeah.
Until I found Wi-Fi Tribe, and it's the most beautiful thing. And I was a little bit worried that my first time would be like that freshman year, and then past that, it's like you can't access it again. But every single new chapter is like a brand new bubble that you have over and over again, and it's it's so special, and it's hard to even put words to it. But that's the best way that I could explain it related to my life as a
Yeah.
whole.
Yeah. It's the excitement of getting to meet new people, exploring a new place,
Yeah.
different backgrounds, different perspectives, different cultures.
Yep. It's like being an 18-year-old entering university for the first time. Same, it's really, really similar feeling.
I get that. I get you. There's an openness. There's like a whole bunch of stuff you just don't know, and you're in this world of discovery. It's exciting.
It's beautiful and exciting, and yeah, it's something that I never thought that I would be able to recapture from myself.
Got you.
Yeah.
And who would you say it's really for? Like, what kind of person, would enjoy this experience, this community?
You know what's interesting? Like, I think this specific chapter has opened my mind, meeting all sorts of different people, and obviously you've experienced it too. There are people of all sorts on this chapter. There is someone who is shy and, very, not necessarily
Like reserved.
very reserved, introspective, and I have seen them bloom through this environment. And then I see other people who are like the most social beings in the world. And so when I think about who is Wi-Fi Tribe for, I can't identify like traits on the surface level, because I look at these people who are literally under me right now. We're on the roof, by the way, under me right now, that are so different from like their traits, their characteristics. But I think it's this beneath the soil, soul-based, values-based ideology that I know was in the recipe for Wi-Fi Tribe,
Yeah.
that I go towards. And I think it's curiosity, love, and understanding of others, openness, lack of judgment, these like deeply human traits that wouldn't necessarily be on like someone's resume, but it's more about in the soil and in the blood of who they are as a person,
Yeah.
that I think I find the synergies.
Wow. I resonate with that. I resonate with that. I think there's something about the fact that we've all taken this opportunity to build a life that's largely by our own design that unites us. And there's a certain kind of integrity that you need to have as a person to do something like that, that I think is part of the recipe that you spoke about, the soul and the soil that, the fruits of the tree of Wi-Fi Tribe grow from. If you had to kind of give me 1 to 5 reasons not to do Wi-Fi Tribe.
If you want to stay in your comfort zone, which all power to anybody and any decision that they make. But if you're someone who wants to really stay in their comfort zone, I don't think it's the right place for you. I think someone who is very averse to adventure and, kind of releasing their attachment to their way of doing things.
Yeah.
And if you are somebody who that's a big characteristic, that's not a bad thing, but it is something to be aware of, because when you are here, there's a big culture of co-creation, which sometimes means you take a back seat to the planning, or you might not get to choose this or that. But what makes it special is that you rely on one another to co-create this experience.
Yeah.
And you have to relinquish control in a lot of ways
Yeah.
to truly embrace that, which is not easy for some people. And it's not, some people might not like doing that,
Yeah.
which is okay. But that's what comes to mind. I think for me, I've continued to picture this, and I've even like talked to people about it. My mindset on a lot of these trips is, if there is a moment that I'm in charge of for the group, I'll put my best foot forward to lead that. Outside of that, I picture myself as like a dog with his head out the window, just flowing in the wind, enjoying life and the experience that we are creating together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that that is the way to most enjoy the people around you and absorb the experience.
Yeah.
So that's what I think of.
You know, Ben Boone put it nicely. He said, sometimes you're going to be the main cook in the kitchen, and sometimes you're a sous chef.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Sometimes you're just chopping veggies, and sometimes it's your recipe.
For sure.
I think that, but I love your dog with their head out the window. Yeah. It creates a great image, and I mean, just knowing how much fun we had on these weekend trips, like I can totally see how both you and me were dogs with.
For sure.
Heads
There's video of us being dogs out the window, like literally dogs out the window.
Absolutely. Did you have any hesitation in joining Wi-Fi Tribe?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's natural to have hesitation, being like, am I going to like these people? I've never done any other sort of like travel group. So all my travel was solo travel, and there is a bit of like, is this something for me? It's like kind of like a comfort bubble that's like, you know, you go to university, to go back to that example, and it's like, well, everyone that is going to university is taking that leap together.
Yeah.
This leap to go to, you know, Wi-Fi Tribe University or whatever this may be, is like, there's the people around you at home or in your day-to-day life aren't doing that. So you really have to be confident and okay with failing, okay with this might not be for me, okay with taking a leap and slipping through the cracks. So it was uncomfortable the first time. I think then from the moment you meet people here, there's such an openness that the people and the environment, the culture that creates, it catches you. And it catches you with a softness that allows you just to be yourself.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to be scared, because this is a place that will catch you and hold you for who you are. And it's really, really beautiful.
So why are you here? You know, what made you seek out this lifestyle?
Why am I here? I think I'm here because it's a good one. This is a good one. Normally I just have an answer. This is a good one. I'm an analogy thinker. My brain moves in analogies. I think of the cup example all the time. Let's say I have a cup, you have a cup, everyone has their own version of a cup. 100% of that cup is, I maximized my mark on the world, my mark on myself. I maximized what I can become, whether that's whatever that is for you, becoming a great entrepreneur, becoming a great friend, a father, a son, a brother, whatever that is for you, life or business. You have a cup that at the top you can visualize, I maximize this. I squeeze the juice out of everything that I can become. That's at 100. 0 is, I didn't. It's the complete opposite. I think I reached a point in my life where I got to maybe about 50% with the environment that was around me. And I just felt as if, I read in a book as well from Phil Knight, and goes more to my entrepreneurial side. He said, in order to change the world, you need to see the world. And to me, that's not only these locations. It's the seeing the world is going to Japan where he went, or Namibia for me, or South Africa, but it's also meeting the world, meaning the citizens and the people and the way of life and the experiences. And however many days, years I have left, I want my, gifts and just as much impact as I can to seep into the world and those around me. And this is the only way that I can truly both understand what that looks like and also do that and follow that path.
I get you. Was that Shoe Dog?
Shoe Dog.
Such a good book.
Yeah, I read it when I was 22 years old, and that was a pivot point in my life that I knew I had to take one leap. Not like I'm going to become a serial entrepreneur, but I'm going to take one leap to try to build a vehicle that can change the world. And it was Shoe Dog. My mom got me that book, and yeah.
Unreal story. Crazy what he managed to achieve.
For sure.
So much risk as well.
Of course.
Huge risk.
Risk and failure again and failure again. And I think about the mantra all the time that he put on Nike's core values that said, fail fast so we can learn quicker.
Yep.
There's no bit of doubt when you say fail fast so you can learn quicker. It's just, you know the vision and you believe in it. So let's fail right here so that we can just grow right through it.
Absolutely. So we've spent a month together here in Swakopmund in Namibia. We're sitting on the rooftop of the hotel we've been staying in, all 20 plus tribers all together. Every weekend we've done something. It's been an adventure-packed trip. I want to kind of get your perspective. If you could take me through from weekend one all the way through each of the weekends. What did we do? Sure. Where did we go? What did we get up to? How did you feel doing all of those things? Yeah. Shout if you want to recap in case you've forgotten.
I don't forget any part of it.
A lot of stuff has happened.
Yeah, I remember every single part of every day. And yeah, I think that goes to that, like, dog with his head out the window, just absorbing every little part. And there is, I don't think there's an hour of any day of each of these 3 weekend trips that you could name the hour. I say Saturday, February 19th at 3 p.m. and I could tell you what we are doing. And I think that is just such a sign of squeezing the juice out of life. Like, yeah, and it's been incredible, honestly incredible here. And obviously we're in a magical place, and I've been talking about this Namibian magic. This is a magical place with beautiful people. And it started with the first weekend in Palmwag, which I will remember for the rest of my life, no doubt about it. I would say the Sunday in Palmwag was a top 5 day of my entire life. Maybe higher than that, maybe top 3. Yeah, it was well, it's on the drive there, and I've never seen an animal. Like, obviously back home and in Philly, I've seen deer and squirrels, and I have a dog, and we're driving on this dirt road highway in a Jimny, this neon green
Suzuki.
Yeah, this neon green Suzuki Jimny car that feels like we're trekking through like Jurassic Park. Yeah. And I literally feel like I'm in a fictional movie of Jurassic Park. And it's me, you, Anna, and Ben Brock in the car. And all of a sudden, we're about 25 minutes from the Palmwag Resort, and we see 13 fucking giraffes on the side of the road. And it absolutely, it was a feeling that I will never, ever forget, of just complete awe. And the grace of the giraffe, the elegance, the essence, the grace of the giraffe is one of the most beautiful things. And that moment of first seeing that, as if it were a deer on the side of the road in America, just this fictional creature of a giraffe. And obviously people on the trip were like, oh, like we've done safaris and this and that. And I'm sitting there like pinching myself, like literally feeling like I'm in Jurassic Park or some fake movie of my life, and being able to experience that with you and with people around me who are special to me is that was just so amazing. And then we get to the lodge, and just the culture and the sunset and everything is just, it literally feels like magic is the best way I could put it. And then that Sunday we did the safari drive in the morning, which was great. And then I'm sleeping in tents for the first time in my life, which also is like contributing to the groundedness that I felt in those moments. And on Sunday night, me, Brian, Sophia, and Ben Brock take one of those fake chimneys that are like a fake car of a movie, and go into and we go into the safari area. And it was the most profound 3 hours of my entire life. And it sounds like an exaggeration, but it was the most profound 3 hours of my entire life. And I end up sitting, feeling the ground around me. And it was the most spiritual moment of my whole life. And I'm a very spiritual person. And there's a rock story that I've told people about me ending up in Namibia after someone, just these deep spiritual ties. And I'm sitting in that moment looking at the sunset. And I don't know why, but I just broke down and cried my fucking eyes out. And I'm uncontrollably, and not in a sad way, in the most beautiful, holistic way. I feel my grandfather who has passed away with me and in me, and I feel this deep spiritual connectiveness from my present moment in my human form to everything that has ever happened in my life. And Brian and Ben, who I've grown to love as great friends, are maybe about 30 meters behind me. And Sophia walks up and just puts her hand on my shoulder as we're sitting there, and just supports me at a level that I'm so grateful for her to be there with me in that moment. And she just says, she's just giving me the space and the platform to say, how do you feel? What are you feeling? And allowed me to talk it out and talk it through, and live the moment with me. And yeah, it was really the most profound 3 hours of my life. And I feel like the past 5 years of my life have been building to that climax in a way. I actually wouldn't call it a climax, because I think it's been going like this, and I've had a deep understanding of life and humanity and my purpose and purpose on the world, and purpose of being here, and the connection between loved ones who have moved on, and how that affects my humanity. And it's been just like building up to here. And that 3 hours in Palm Wag opened up a window that I got through. And I now feel like I've reached a newfound platform of spiritual alignment in my life. And, maybe someone hears that answer and they're like, this kid's fucking crazy. But like, that is my truth. And that is actually what happened to me, for me. And yeah, absolutely incredible. Yeah.
That was just the first weekend.
That was the first weekend. That was the first weekend. And yeah, at that moment, I knew what I had to do in terms of opening my heart, which is probably a story for another day. But I'm really happy about that. And then the second weekend, We were in Spitzkoppe,
Spitzkop?
Spitzkop, and it was the hottest day of my life. Like,
It's
it was
crazy.
the hottest day of my life. And I think everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's so hot here," and there was these tensions that come up when you're in an uncomfortable environment. And we found a little sliver of water, and we all gathered there, found this resource of like a little sliver of water, and had just the most beautiful co-created day from that point on, overlooking a landscape that I've never seen before. I've been a lot of places around the world, and I've never seen a landscape like this. It almost looked as if it was like a Hollywood movie set where like you could grab it and,
Pull it over.
yeah, pull it over and be like, okay, we're in like a big warehouse. And I felt that way. I was sitting on the rock in this rock pool area, and I felt as if I could grab it, but you can't. And it's just the most beautiful environment, surrounded by the most beautiful people. And yeah, then we had the cookout at night, and I actually think of Celine being there, and you telling me about Celine
Yeah.
in the ride to Palmwag and kind of explaining it. And then I see her there with you, and I'm like, I told you guys, I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't have to say a word to me. I understand, and I
Yeah.
get it. And
Yeah.
to see the beauty in your guys' relationship and you cooking the chicken
Yeah.
as she was there was like, it's so beautiful. It's really, really seeing the love that you guys share, and knowing you as a person, and seeing her like her personality and your personality and the way that they mesh together
Yeah.
was just fucking beautiful. And that night we just all were just so happy to just be alive, and nothing mattered really. Like, nothing mattered. It all dissipated. Any worry that someone had, any bit of life worry that was going on, it didn't matter, because
Yeah.
we were just still and present in this beautiful environment together, eating amazing food that Brian cooked for all of us, and you cooked, and it was just so special. And then stayed in these tents in the campground, and yeah, just developed real deep connection. Yeah, that was the second weekend. And on the ride back, me, Brian, Sophia, and Anna had such a profound moment that me and Brian actually made a song through Tom called Jimny to Heaven. And that's, I think that song, by the time whatever comes out, might be like #1 in the world. So it was that profound, and so beautiful in a very different way than Palmwag, but kind of like that middle. It was only one night,
Yep.
but it was so special, that 24-hour clock.
Yep.
Yeah, and then this past weekend, going to Susse's Fly, pronounce that right?
Saucy's Flame.
Susse's Fly. Put the bow on just the most beautiful month you could ever imagine. And
Yeah.
and it was so deeply spiritual, the environment that we were in, and it was the culmination of all of this connection that we've built as humans and as a community together in the most spiritual place that I've ever been. Truly, the most spiritual place that I've ever been. That Sunday where we went to Doom 45 and the
Dead
Dead
Flame.
Valet,
Yeah.
and then Bushman's camp was the single most packed day of beauty and spirituality from an environment. And I bought something from Bushman's about Dead Valet and Dune 45, 2 placemats that had, it said wisdom from those places. And I can't even try to repeat the words, because the words are so profound that I can't mess them up, and maybe it's something that you put on there to show. The Devle one, I guess the thesis was, when you go there, you don't experience Devle. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Devle?
Yeah.
You don't experience Devle. Devle reveals itself to you. And I felt that so deeply when I was there. I was just sitting there like this, and I was alone, and just I was as if I was in like a snow globe of life that wasn't for me to dictate. It was not for me to come up with an opinion about this place. It was for this place to speak to me the way that it wanted to speak.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was confirmed by that quote and wisdom that was on that placemat that I bought. And Dune 45, the same thing. And there was another placemat that actually had a quote, or the author of The Alchemist was on the quote board. And earlier in the day, I was talking to Anna about The Alchemist as we were climbing Dune 45. And the Bob Dylan song, Blowing in the Wind. And if you put up the quote from Dune 45, we get there 10 hours later, and the quote is by the author of The Alchemist.
Paulo Coelho.
Exactly. And in the quote, it talks about essentially blowing in the wind. And me and her both look at this and are like, whoa, like something is going on. And she knew it and I knew it. And yeah, just a absolutely deeply spiritual, profound day that kind of put a bow on the beauty of this month. And as I sit here now, I'm always sad to leave a place, because it's like, well, I wish I could relive it.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, well, now you're moving on. Here, I feel so deeply fulfilled about the experiences that we had that nothing can take that away. And leaving here is just beautiful, knowing the experience that we had. And it really is a different feeling than I've ever had before.
Yeah.
And I don't need to spend another second in this place, because it already has had such a profound impact on me.
Yep.
That there is nothing more it needs to give me. We squeezed all the juice out of it.
Yep.
And if we stay, we could probably squeeze another 1,000,000 cups. But it's already spoken its piece, and I feel like I've absorbed the book the best way we possibly could. And yeah, how much of a blessing is that to have that experience?
It's an ultimate blessing, man. It's one of those places you come and it teaches you what it needs to teach you in a subtle way. Like, it feels raw because it's this adventure center. Everything you do in Namibia is outside. It's not on your phone. It's not a city. It's in nature. It's in the desert. It's really hot, or it's really cold, or it's really wet if you're in the ocean, or it's really uncomfortable and sandy. But inside all of that discomfort, at least this is my reflection, I felt there was this real connection to, like, what are we really here for as people? And what's life really about? This sort of connection, like you said, the sense of groundedness. And I felt a real sense of groundedness in Namibia. So I completely relate to what you're saying. I wondered, was there any one singular moment where you felt a really strong sense of community? Obviously, based on everything you've shared, I can tell you felt community all the way through.
Yeah.
But is there any one moment that's really stood out for you? We're like, wow, I'm part of something.
Yeah. It was our trip to Promised Land, for sure.
Yeah?
Our trip to Promised Land, which is a truly amazing philanthropic organization in Walvis Bay. That it was maybe 14 of us, all showed up in under-resourced community in Walvis Bay. None of us looked like the people who live there. None of us understood truly what it is like to live there. But we all had such openness and curiosity for these kids who grow up there and the organization who provides for them. And likewise, these kids mirrored that right back to us. And I see Alyssa cooking in the kitchen, laughing with this girl, and Reezy helping draw with another girl, and Anna setting up these fake musical instruments with another girl, and Tom helping this kid with his homework, and Brian showing off to these kids about pictures of him surfing, and there was such this deep I am you, you are me for a 8-year-old kid in the middle of Namibia who grew up in such a different environment than some of us did, and vice versa. We are you, and we are together, both these kids of Promised Land and the community there, and then our community of Wi-Fi Tribe, and together, and it just transcended the lines of humanity to a level that the world, if the world took notes of that moment, of that 3 hours, and embodied the letting the guard down of who you are and who I am, and just say, you are my brother, she is your sister, we are all one, the world would be a truly beautiful place. And it already is a beautiful place, but all the negativity and hate and disparity, the complete opposite of that was embodied in the community and the togetherness and cohesiveness of that 3-hour experience at Promised Land.
And you set that up.
I did.
That came from that was your dream.
Yeah, it's deeply connected to my true life purpose and life goal. You know, God willing that I make it to the point of being in this spot. And I would like to build a foundation that brings programming and resources to entrepreneurs and youth all around the world, everywhere around the world, from Africa to my home in Philly to Asia to South America, and build this foundation for as long as I'm living is my actual next venture and goal, called the Envision Foundation. So if we're looking at this in 2090 and something's changed in the world called the Envision Foundation, the seed of thought was here in 2026. Again, God willing that I make it enough years to be able to do that. But I think the biggest thing is, like, yeah, I set it up so that we as a collective could leave our mark. Like, it's, yeah, this guy Al Black from Philadelphia told me one time, it's a blessing to be a blessing. And when you truly have that in your soul of it's a blessing to be a blessing, it doesn't matter if I set it up or anybody set it up or they came or you give $1 or you give $1 billion. Be your version of a blessing, and you're filling that cup of giving back to those who are around you. And I truly, deeply believe in that. So it was really a blessing to be able to set up the logistics, which really wasn't that hard. I didn't do anything crazy, but bridge that gap of communication and logistics so that we could show up there and collectively be a blessing.
Bro, unbelievable thought. I think it's something that surprised me so much this entire month, is just the care with which everybody walks through their lives. It's an amazing group of people that we find ourselves with. We're now at the sort of end of this chapter experience. Do you have any future plans with Tribers? Are you heading anywhere in the world with anyone in particular?
I am. I'm going to Zambia next. I'm then going to Uganda. Then I'm going to go back to Philadelphia. And actually, coming into this, my plan was to buy some property in Philadelphia and kind of slow my lifestyle. A month ago, this was the plan. I was pretty set on it. And a month later, the profound impact that this place has had on me, from these locations, weekend trips, to the people, to promised land has really pushed me in a different direction of my expansion and my seeing other communities and seeing that firsthand with my eyes, not through Instagram, not through TikTok, but with my eyes at this point in my life is the single most valuable thing that I could possibly do for myself. And Wi-Fi Tribe has provided the community infrastructure to make that not an isolating experience where I know now that I need to, for the next years of my life, dive 10 toes into seeing as much of the world and the people of the world and the humanity as a whole that I possibly can. So there's some evolutions for me to do in terms of the infrastructure to make that happen. But that's my plan.
Beautiful, bro. That's so beautiful. What's a belief that you have about life or the world or work that you feel many tribers share?
Whatever this is, whatever I'm in, and whatever human experience I'm living is so much bigger than myself. And you can't really describe what that means, but I think it's a common thread of feeling that we are all deeply curious about. Yet there may not be an answer, but we're definitely going to continue stepping towards the path that eventually may reveal itself. It may not. But the beauty is in the journey of following that road to this thing that we're living in is way bigger than way bigger than anything that I can really conceptualize. And it goes full circle to the beginning of this interview when you asked about my identity. I am a human being who believes in other humans and humanity and love before I am anything else. And I'm still discovering what that all means. But I think that's a pretty common thread between me and the people that I meet here is that they know that this thing going on is way bigger than myself.
I hear that. I really hear that. Some common questions that we often come across are like, well, what does a day-to-day life actually look like? You know, because if you see us on Instagram, like our lifestyle, what we're doing, it kind of looks like we're just hanging out all day. Like, describe the kind of day-to-day in your experience.
Definitely. I think the beauty of the day today is you can craft it in whatever rhythm makes sense for you. So there's people who work American hours or US time zone hours who are working till 3 a.m. There's people who are working Africa or European time zone hours who are working at 9 a.m. There are some people who work out every day. There are some people who go out to eat every day. There are some people who wake up at this time, that time, and no one holds anybody to anything that is outside of their rhythm and what makes sense for them. Yeah, and I think that's such a valuable thing that that's what the day-to-day is. Some weeks are gonna be grinding the whole week. Other weeks are gonna have space to explore, but nobody will ever judge you and no one will ever question you for doing what you need to do to be holistically you.
I mean, I couldn't have answered it better if I tried. You need to share the script for that one with me.
I don't know what I said, so you're gonna run back the transcript.
What surprised you about Swakopmund?
I think of this book called Between Two Kingdoms, and she took her dog in a van and went all around the world. And one of the things she said is, you have three perspectives of every place that you go. What you think it's going to be before you get there, your experience, in the actual place when you're there and the place that you remember once you leave. And I try to, before I go to a place, journal my perspective on each of those three things so I remember to be able to answer questions like this of what surprised you or what stuck with you. And here is like, it's definitely not what I expected at all. It's like, it almost feels like, and I know I said this earlier, and I might just think in these terms, like, it feels like a movie set was dropped in the desert. Like there's this European flair mixed with African roots that we experienced when we went to the restaurant experience. And the more that I've seen, and I've gone to this other organization called DBFN, and the restaurants and the local spots and all of that, it's really like nowhere I've ever been, not really close to anywhere I've ever been. It's as if like a little town in Europe was dropped into the soil of Africa. And that really did surprise me because I had no idea. I've seen the weekend trips and I knew we were going to go to beautiful landscapes and deserts, but this little like small city of Swakopmund is super unique.
It is a surprising place. It's like, it's also super walkable.
It is.
Really accessible. I've enjoyed kind of exploring it. They've kind of got these little gems, little cute places everywhere dotted around. It kind of feels like you're on an Easter egg hunt for places to go.
It does.
Who would you recommend this chapter for? What kind of person is the kind of person that would get the juice out of this chapter?
I think every but like it's hard to not say everybody because like if you are a human being who likes to soak in life, there's no better place than Namibia in this chapter specifically, because there is a lot of logistics and things going on, but when you're with a group of 25 people who are on the same page and all want to experience it, you're not solely responsible for all the logistics that it takes to fully squeeze the juice out of a place like this. So I think someone who just has curiosity of the world.
Yeah.
Curiosity of the world and wants to be in a place that the world and the environment reveals itself to them, not them having to go out and find it. This place just speaks to you.
Tell me about Buenos Aires. I know you've been there. I know you went there on chapter with us. It was your first chapter. I've seen the photos.
Yeah, stole the photos. I would have given them to you anyway. Yeah, another month I'll never forget. Being there with the tribe was just amazing, beyond amazing. I met people who changed my life. I think of Maria, Rachel, Nina, friends for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Came from Buenos Aires in the Wi-Fi Tribe. Buenos Aires itself is a world-class city. Not for the fact, not like New York, big glass buildings or Dubai or these places that have these things that you're, whoa, blow you away. The blow you away is in the way that the walls speak of Buenos Aires. It's such a culture-filled place, and the streets and the different pockets and the people. It's one of my favorite places in the world, and it will be forever. And it has nothing to do. It's not like, oh, there's a beautiful beach and there's beauty, like there's beautiful parts, but it's a place like no other for reasons that is hard to really explain. It's the intangible feel, and I'm a huge football, soccer fan, and that place might be the best in the world for understanding how sport affects the roots and culture of a city. And we went to a Boca Juniors game. I went to a Rossing game with a few people. I adopted the club Rossing as my own, and I met so many amazing people, both in the tribe and then with the tribe of locals. And yeah, Buenos Aires will forever be one of my favorite places in the world.
Beautiful, David. And both that chapter and this chapter, I'm sure you were surrounded by other entrepreneurs, founders, people who are building things, remote workers, etc. I mean, we just came out of a skill share about an hour ago from someone who's on this chapter with us now, focusing on agentic AI and building OpenClaw and what's possible. How have the people that you've met on chapter expanded your mind as a founder?
Wow, so much so. I actually think there's two buckets as a founder. There's the human bucket. As a founder, an entrepreneur building something that's passion filled, these human skills and leadership skills are maybe more important than the tactical skills. They're both crucial. You need both. But the human skills is what I think of first, because as a founder, your leadership, your culture, your understanding of leadership, your understanding of culture, your understanding about these intangible aspects that make a great company is the base layer. Once you set the base layer, these key skills of operations and delivery and new technology like we learned today, and these different aspects are key, but they need to be held in different buckets. So when I think of people that have affected me in Buenos Aires, sometimes it wasn't even them being like, I am also a founder. It was them giving me this boost as a human being, that then I see myself taking the lesson and the theme that they instilled in me, and it affects me as a founder and a leader. And that's a beautiful thing. I love when that happens, and I love when I can draw the lines back to, that's something that Jill in Buenos Aires told me, and she didn't even think about, she didn't even know what I'm doing. But because she gave me that little boost from a human perspective, I'm a way better founder, CEO, leader when I get here. And yeah, you and Diego here have helped me get through some turmoil for sure in my company with human dynamics that popped up actually when we were here. And those talks, I really think I will be looking right now at a completely different situation if I didn't have Diego sitting across from me. And Diego actually asked me, what's up? It was a Friday night, and he asked me, how you doing? And in that moment was one of the biggest fires in our company of all time, between really my co-founder and myself. And without Diego's support, just to give me the openness and say, how, I'm here to help you talk this through, and how do we want the outcome to look? And if it goes this way, what are you going to do? And if it goes that way, what are you going to do? Without his support, I'll be looking at a completely different situation. And I'm extremely grateful that the leadership conversation that we had, I took that path of compassion and understanding as opposed to any other pathway, because we're way better off because of that. And there's really too many to name, honestly, because I think I could just keep listing off people that I've met and the things that they've told me about themselves and ideologies that they take that have affected me in my growth as a founder and a CEO and a leader.
A few years ago, you put in an application. You didn't do a chapter for a couple of years. Life things happened. Would you say that your life has changed post Wi-Fi Tribe? And if yes, how?
Completely changed, evolved. Again, I think in analogies all the time. And I'm going to talk about Rick, who I've talked to you about, who I met at the Wi-Fi Tribe Fest in Cape Town. And they run these deeply nomad experiments and seminars, and they're amazing. And I had dinner with him the day before I left Cape Town to come here. And he gave me this analogy that he saw somewhere from Snoop Dogg.
Interesting.
Yeah, from Snoop Dogg. And Snoop Dogg said when you are evolving in life, let's say you're here, and then someone is here, and this path, this space in between here is for you to walk into. The person up here, the person or the platform or the group or the community or the experience up here, it's not for them to grab you and pull you up and say, now it's your turn to get up here. It's for you, the person, to walk that path. But what the person up here or the community can do is shout down. And the way Rick said it is shout down and say, like, yo, it's dope up here. It's great up here. And allow you to see that and climb up and feel it.
Mm.
And Wi-Fi Tribe was the Snoop Dogg for me. That's the way I think.
That's amazing.
Shout out to Rick for that one too.
Wi-Fi Tribe was David's Snoop Dogg.
It was my Snoop Dogg. Actually, I haven't seen the video, but yeah, Wi-Fi Tribe is my Snoop Dogg.
I love that.
You ever get that before?
I've never had that one before.
Okay. Surprising.
I love that. I think that's the perfect place to draw this to a close.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
I want to say thank you.
I need a hug, bro.
You want a hug?
I need a hug. I love you.
I love you too, man.
I appreciate you.
And yeah, damn. Thank you for your time.
Some shit right there. Good talks.
Hopefully we get to see each other again somewhere in the world.
Oh, come on. You already know we will. I'll make it happen.